So I will just paste this, whatever we have seen earlier. Let's see whether this is working fine. Import static method. Yeah, this is what I'm expecting. But still, there is some issue. It's not within the bounds, it seems. Okay. So, I don't need these all variables now. I'm just deleting it. So as a part of before class, I have initialized all the request specification as well as the response specification. So before calling any of the test case, this particular before class method gets executed and it will initialize the request specification as well as the response specification. Okay. Uh, Good till now.
Yes, Bhagya.
Okay. So now I don't need this given anymore. Okay. I can just call get. Okay. So if it is throwing me an error, then I can just say, okay. So it has imported the relevant libraries. Okay. So I can just mention uh, get, just throw a get method on this particular thing, and then you can just validate over the response specification. Okay. So here what I can do is I don't need this particular thing also. Once this get method is called, here anyway, we are just validating over 200, right? 200. Actually, basically, this verify status code is not required because we already validating the status code as part of this particular response specification variable. So that's why I'm just removing this as of now. This method is not required. And here I will just remove this is not required when is not required and help. And this particular thing is already initialized. Okay, spec of response specification is already initialized. So what happens before calling this method, first the request specification gets initialized and then it performs the get operation, and as part of then the response specification variable will be called, and after that this will be called. This will be validated. Okay, that is how it works. Getting it or any confusion?
Could you please repeat once again, Bhagya?
So, as part of given what we are giving especially the request specification, right? So, as this is already initialized by rest assured the request specification, you don't need to give it again. Okay, you don't need to set all this again. Okay, so I can just remove it. That's what I have done. And I can just pass on the get method, whatever get method that I want to pass on, I can pass on. And even in then also, I already have the basic test already done inside the response specification. Okay, so it will validate over the expected code and the content type, and after that it will go to this body, it will validate and all these things. Okay, so here you don't need to again mention response specification or something like that. Okay, because it will understand as part of a before class that is going to be executed first. Okay, even before given also, given as part of request specification, you don't need to mention request specification because you already mentioned this as part of this before class. Okay, so here also I don't
Yes.
need this.
Yeah, got it.
And this also not required. Okay, again I don't need to mention, duplicate the code like this. Anyway, the negative scenario will fail. Why it is going to fail? Because here I said
200 you have declared and then giving you.
So that's why it will fail because I'm again not mentioning anything, right? So here I'm not
Mm.
mentioning anything. This could fail. So I'm just removing this as of now. Okay. We can, if I want to validate that, I can use the before, like using specification. We have tried, right? We can use that type of validating rather than using rest assured dot response specification. Or I can do other thing. I can remove this and I can validate every time whether the expected status code is 200 or not every time. Okay. Yeah, I can do anyway. Okay. So if I just run this, let's see. Yeah, both test cases has been passed. Okay. Mostly, we can just use using specification also, but this is other way. Okay.
Yes, Bhagya.
Yeah, fine. So can we continue or you want me to stop till here?
How much time it will take?
Like I want to discuss on data-driven framework, like using data provider. You know, you might be knowing like. So for
Yeah.
suppose I want to pass on different country code and different zip code so that based on that I don't want to hard code this value. Based on that I should get the result. Okay, that's what I want to
Mhm.
automate. So it might take when we 3:30 to 4:30, or I will just tell you next in the next class. Okay, just practice
Okay,
it.
okay.
Okay,
Sure,
yeah,
Bhagya. Yeah.
fine. Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah.